So what do you do?
My name is Emily Famularo, and I'm the owner and editor of The Hook Journal. It's an online music magazine. Basically, I review music, underground live music, I guess you could say, in the DIY scene here in the tri-state area. Currently, I do cover anyone who is unsigned across the nation. I have done some stuff over in Europe as well, which is pretty cool. I wanted to focus more on the scene that was around me. My friends are making music and I wanted to focus on that because there's not a lot for them. It costs money for big press, and it's important to me that people are hearing their music because it's good. So The Hook is completely online. I would one day really like to have print. It does cost a lot of money. And right now we live in a really digital age where it's not really important to have print. When I can just give out my business card and someone can look it up on their phone, that seems better to me than saying, here's my magazine, here's a print copy, whereas you can just go on your iPhone or your laptop anywhere and look up what I do. Aside from reviewing music, I do interviews at shows, I interview band members. I also manage a band in Jersey. I throw shows, host shows, promote shows. We have merchandise that you can buy. Basically anything music related, The Hook is doing that. So I do have writers who write for me on and off. They of course have lives, and The Hook is a free publication. I call myself a non-profit organization because we mostly don't take any money except for shows, and all that money goes back into The Hook or to donating, because I do a lot of charity also. I have a photographer, Rich Sanders, and he's the best, and he does all of my stuff for me, which is great, my photography mostly. I started The Hook in my room because I just wanted to write about music for my friends, and it took off. Like, I don't know why or how, but people really enjoyed it. And in that first year, I mean, we grew exponentially. Within 6 months, I was planning our first ever show. We had, I think, almost 1,000 likes on Facebook. Our social media presence was growing. I solidified a photographer and all that kind of stuff. So that first year was really just kind of like launching it off the ground. My goal is definitely just expansion. I'm really interested in growing views, growing social media presence. How can I become something that people want? I'd really like to put on more shows, whether that is just promoting or their Hook showcases. I'd really love to put out some more merchandise to start revenue, and I really do need to look into advertising just so the site can kind of pay for itself. Plus, I'd love to do more charity work. I really am enjoying my charity EPs that I put out, and they do a lot of good and also are giving bands a reason to, you know, send their single that they're never going to put out on anything else that no one has ever heard onto this EP that people can buy for a good cause. I mean, Philadelphia has been such a good soil for The Hook to grow in. It's so full of different types of music and scenes and people who are very welcoming and have taught me a lot. I've learned everything from my peers, whether that be bands or my writers or just people I meet at shows or at events. They've all taught me a lot in how The Hook should be. People don't feel alienated. Someone who likes music but doesn't know how to play an instrument can read the review and say, like, yeah, this is totally the feeling that I get. The website features our photographers' pictures from our own live shows as well as shows we've reviewed. You can find on the front page is our featured album of the month, which changes every month, and it's usually an album or an EP that we've already reviewed, and it just gives highlight to bands, and it allows listeners to stream the album for free so that they can get a taste of it. Besides that, you can also find press releases, news articles, show reviews, interviews. I've teamed up with a few vlogs and podcasts in Philly who submit their work to me so that I can post it for them under our interview column, which is really nice. And we also, our biggest column, of course, is album reviews and EP reviews. But we do song reviews and premieres, videos, stuff like that. So I have to set up their bio, and then I have to write the review itself, and then I have to set up the article on the website. So that includes a promo picture, the album art, track list, social media links. So there's a lot that goes into it. I usually do the setup before writing the review, and then I'll do the bio, and then the review comes last. So I have really good community response, and I'm very grateful whenever bands share their reviews. Facebook is a really good tool for a social media presence. So a lot of the time, Facebook is going to be the place where I'm getting the most traffic into the website. A lot of the bands that I do reviews for really work their butts off to make those views happen, because obviously they want people to read it, because that means people will listen to their music and buy it. I wouldn't say that anyone in particular was like, oh my god, this person did this for the hook, because it's really been a kind of cumulative effort. I've had shows in a lot of different places in Philadelphia and New Jersey. I've had house shows here at our own house. I've had house shows at the Tralfamador. That's a few blocks away. It's a Philadelphia basement run by Maddie Klauser, and they're great. I've had shows a lot at the Pharmacy here in Philly, Coda. I've hosted a show at the Meat Locker. I've had a show at in New Jersey in Montclair. Connie's Rick Rack I've had shows at. I mean, basically anywhere that says like, yeah, you can have this date, I'm like, okay, cool, I'm gonna have a show. Here in Philly specifically, there are a bunch of places that I would love to have shows. I mean, Boot and Saddle, Trocadero, Bourbon and Branch too is really nice. So those would all be probably ideal. And the hook covers all genres. We don't have a specific one. It's basically anyone who submits most of the time gets on the hook. It's not really necessarily following any type of scene. I am just writing for people who need to be written about. I want people to feel like the hook is a safe space for them and for their music, and that we support the scene and that we're just trying our best to kind of help out other people too. So the hook has a Facebook page, it has an Instagram page, a Twitter page, and aside from that, I've made it my goal to put stickers for the hook anywhere I go. So we cover that in our Instagram. It's my hashtag branding. My name's Emily, and I am the owner and editor of The Hook Journal, an online music magazine.
You're the velvety wine to my sleeping tongue, drunken lips.